What's going on, guys? What's up? What's up? TJ Munch, Marco. What's up, boys? How's everybody doing today? You guys have it? You bored today? Nothing much going on? Oh, Munch said, I've been telling you guys every stream. Or I haven't, I try not to, I'm not ignoring you, bro. We check it out here and there. We'll check it out here in a second. I might have to, if it's doing really well, we might have to put it on the watch list, all right? We'll put it on the watch list. Nico, what's going on? So, what is going on, guys? How's everybody doing today? Week's already almost it already is halfway over, right? Tomorrow's Thursday. Basically, week's almost over, guys. We made it. We made it. So let's just jump right in. So I hope everybody had a good day today. Nice little boring Wednesday for the market. Nothing too crazy going on, but a couple things I do want to check out. A couple big news articles. Today, as far as Milady, right now, we are currently sitting at around that 11 mark. You know what? Last night, remember, we were talking, and we had jumped up towards around the 10. And remember, after the stream, I remember going back and checking the charts, and we had broke the 10 again. And I was like, damn it. You know, we got dropped back down towards these 90s, 94. And I was like, you know, I'm just like, I wonder if this was going to be a fake out. But then woke up the next morning, and we had definitely rebounded somewhat, right? Definitely jumped up towards this 12 mark. So it was good to see that. Today we've been holding pretty steady. You can see we did bounce towards the this fib retracement right here at the 0.5. This was going to be somewhere around that 10.7 mark. Right now, like I said, we're sitting around the 11. You guys can see that we are chopping in such a fine little price range right now, which means usually there's going to be some kind of a breakout. Is it going to be towards the upside? Is it going to be towards the downside? Right now, we really don't know. But given what we have still lined up, April, halvening, Bitcoin still holding up above 66,000 today, getting rejected at around 67, making this little M pattern. You see this M pattern? Basically telling us that, or a double top, really telling us it's not ready to get back up to some of these levels. And I think what it is that with Bitcoin particularly, a lot of people got spooked out because of that 69,000 rejection. You know, a lot of people got spooked out. The market's still kind of retracing. You know, we did see a nice little bounce back up towards, you know, the big levels, 66, 67,000. But, you know, the fact that we haven't recovered all the way is just telling me that, and the fact that we're getting rejected at 67, big indication that right now, I think for the next day or two, maybe going into the weekend, we're probably going to have some dullness. You know, we're going to have probably some chopping around. Not much going on, but I think as this week coming up, it's going to be like the week should have been for this week, right? We knew, or we should have knew, that hitting that all-time high so fast was probably going to be a big rejection, and that's pretty much what we saw. So right now, what we're seeing is that the markets are just trying to not only recover price-wise, but for confidence-wise, right? You had a lot of new investors coming in. I always tell you guys a story, and it happened today. I'm at the gym. And a friend of mine comes up and he's like, yeah, man. He's like, I just jumped in on Bitcoin at 60. You know, I've been telling him about Bitcoin. I've been telling him about crypto in general, right? You guys know, I mean, obviously, I'm not just doing this on YouTube. Like, I do this, right? So I try not to, like, you know, talk crypto 1,000, you know, 100%, you know, everywhere I go, you know, with the family and stuff like that. But I do, you know, I know certain people, they come up to me and ask me about crypto, right? And this guy always comes up, he's always asking me about charts and crypto, and finally he comes up today and he's like, hey, I bought in today on, or I bought in yesterday or whenever the hell he did, but he said he bought in at around 60,000. It must have been towards this big dip right here. And I was like, you know what, that's awesome. But I'm looking at him and I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh crap. I'm like, this is, you know, like this can't be the top of the market. Right. But you know, it's like usually when they tell you, people are walking up to you, strangers, people that normally aren't invested in the market, they start asking you questions or start telling you that they jumped in. It just means that right now we're in an era where there's just a lot of eyes on crypto. A lot of people that didn't want to bother with it a year ago when it was down are all invested in it. And that's kind of when they saw what happened yesterday, it spooked the markets out. None of us really got spooked out, right? I mean, it's an event to see, but at the same time, it's just another day in crypto. So, but we do have this M pattern forming, and it already formed pretty much for Bitcoin. So, right now we are holding. I was expecting this thing to kind of retrace and maybe retest the 64 right here, the 64.9 or 65 possibly. And we might need that for us to kind of ignite the buyers to come back in and really take over again. Because right now we are teeter-tottering, right? We're just basically, we're fluctuating between where we're at right now, about 60, 66, 1, and we keep kind of going up to 67, a little over 67, getting rejected, right? So a lot of times when you're seeing this kind of a tight price range, and it really can get tighter, as we move, but this little small tight range right here, we're most likely going to see some kind of a move. Obviously, it can either go up or go down, right? But I'm just saying, usually this thing will move around in these tight ranges for a very small time, maybe a week or two. I don't think it's going to be that long until we see some kind of a move, most likely towards the upside. What I would honestly like us to see is us to come back and retest some of these levels, maybe around 64, 65,000, somewhere around these spots that we have as support. Come back, retest some of these levels, and kind of build up that excitement again in the market, right? That's pretty much what I think we need. As far as Milady, she needs to sit put where she's at, and we need to just kind of let Bitcoin do its thing. If we can at least hold these levels that we're in right now, I think we're doing really well. But the fact is that every time we do drop below that 10 mark, we have been quickly retrace back up above, and we pretty much eat that zero. So everything's still looking great on Milady. We're setting up right now. If you really look at the market as a whole for today, that's for the week. I was like, no way, Floki's up 133% for the day. I was gonna say, holy crap, where have I been? Looking at the market for the day, actually I was expecting it to be a little bit more duller, but I mean, we have some solid movers. FET, you guys know, someone was asking me yesterday what's a good AI project, and I always tell you guys, Fetch AI. This one hurts. It hurts to even bring it up, but Fetch AI is continuing to move without me, right? Up 42%. Fetch right now is sitting at around, where is Fetch's chart? We'll be back, me ladies. Look at Fetch, broke out of the fib retracement that we had, and it's one of the bigger movers for today. This thing is, like I told you guys, unstoppable. This thing is going to be an unstoppable force. I could see Fetch AI getting up to like $10-20 billion easily. And I don't mean just hitting $10-20 billion and then flying back down. I mean staying up there during this bull run, getting up there. This thing could easily fly up there. This thing is just unstoppable right now. I believe it is making all-time highs. If I'm not mistaken, it is. All-time highs for Fetch. So, this is just craziness. I knew it was going to happen. I just should have never tried to time the market, guys. I always tell you, don't try to time the market. Let's see here. What's going on, everybody? I'm just jumping on the chat real quick. BP said, what's good, bro? We here live. Let's go. Milady gang, show some love to my boy, Fudd. Thanks for dropping these bombs. You already know. And real quick, you guys already know. Make sure you guys hit that like. We got 25 people here. Let's hit that like. Come on. Adam said, I got here and haven't looked at Milady since I bought. There you go, bro. Sometimes it's better off to do that, right? Just leave it be. Don't even, for right now, unless you're a short-term holder, checking the markets. But, we're all interested. It's hard for me to not look at freaking charts. It really is. It's very hard. Jojo said he's checking in from the gym. All right, bro. See you over there getting swole while you getting that knowledge. Craig said, Milady has it moved up or down today, showing strength. And, yes, sir. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I was going to say about crypto. Not just crypto, but for the markets for today. It felt like nothing really is going on, but when you open up and you actually look at what the projects right now are doing, you have Fetch obviously moving up. Near's up 42%. What is this? Singularity. I don't know if something came out with AI again, because it seems like Fetch, AI, Singularity is up. GRT usually is associated with AI projects. Corgi AI is up 20%. So I guess today is a solid day in the markets, right? As far as the movement. Now, for the week, you can still see a lot of these projects are really holding their gains. So, I mean, if that was a bounce that we saw and that was the bottom, remember what we covered yesterday about retracements and stuff like that as far as making all-time highs? It is to be expected. If that was the retracement, and we're going to continue to move up, and we're going to look at some articles right now that are calling for a pretty high Bitcoin setup. That would be an epic move that we just saw, right? That would be an epic move, and I think it's going to be very short-lived, and Bitcoin will easily be breaking all-time highs coming up here soon. Now, let's just jump right in to some of these articles. So, real quick, BlackRock Bitcoin ETF sees record $750 million inflows. What's going on? So BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF IBIT has shattered another record for the daily inflow, absorbing $788.3 million from investors Tuesday alone. That was yesterday. All the money goes straight into buying more Bitcoin BTC, which the company holds with Coinbase and uses to directly back its shares. Less than 2 months after launch, BlackRock has now absorbed over $9.1 billion in net flows and owns $11.4 billion in Bitcoin on behalf of its clients. BlackRock, and this is something too, is BlackRock has obtained over $11 billion in Bitcoin. You're talking about in the last like few months, they have literally been buying that much Bitcoin. So just imagine how much Bitcoin, it takes $11.4 billion. They've already caught up to Michael Saylor as far as what they're holding. So, I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it's kind of like a little scary because now institutions are holding massive amounts of Bitcoin, and now they're at least announcing it. Before, it would be kind of like, what if Grayscale owns, or what if BlackRock owns? Now you know that BlackRock owns $11.4 billion in Bitcoin, and they're not stopping anytime soon, right? So they're definitely helping drive the market and keep Bitcoin at bay, right? That's why we didn't see such a massive drop, maybe like we saw in 2021 when we made that first time all-time high at 42,000. Remember yesterday we watched it. Bitcoin retraced 32%. Maybe that's why we only saw a 15% retracement yesterday when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, right? Now, that leads me to, and we'll finish this real quick. So IBT now ranks second amongst all ETFs and 1 day flow, 1 week flow, 1 month flow, and third in year-to-date flows. So they're definitely quickly running up for sure as far as them accumulating. But going kind of over to this next article, which kind of intertwines with the ETFs and stuff like that. Bitcoin's V-shaped recovery opens way for $76,000 price target. This is per Swiss block. Let's see here. The plunge from all-time highs turned the 60,000 era into a support level for prices. And this is what I'm telling you guys. The fact that we made an all-time high, normally, historically speaking, we see at least a 25% drop. We only saw a 15% drop as of now, right? If this plays out, we're going to see an epic run. We're going to be shattering that 69,000 mark, and we're going to be talking about a $70,000 to $80,000 Bitcoin coming up. Imagine what your favorite alts are going to be doing during all this, and closely after Bitcoin is making some of these marks. So let's see here. Bitcoin's sharp rebound from Tuesday plunges indicates a start of a new rally targeting 76,000. There you go, right there. Let's read here. Bitcoin's record-setting move from 69,000 quickly turned into a bloodbath on Tuesday. Damn, they called it a bloodbath. But its rapid recovery to 67,000 1 day later may foreshadow another intimate run for new all-time highs, according to the crypto analyst firm Swissblock. Swissblock analysts noted that with yesterday's plunge, Bitcoin successfully retested the 59,000 to 62,000 price area where it recently consolidated for a week before marching on to all-time highs. the V-shaped recovery, which I was calling that yesterday. Remember, I was like, this beautiful V-shape recovery and onwards towards new all-time highs. According to the chart shared by Swissblock, Bitcoin's quick break back above the $62,000 level mark, it's been a long day. $62,000 level marked the start of a fresh uptrend targeting the 76,000 price level. So they're basically saying that what we found support in is where we were back a few weeks ago, where we hit our head on technically at a local high and we consolidated on. So the fact that we're finding support, and you can see on this chart right here, where we're finding support is where basically our local high was a few weeks back, where we consolidated. So the fact, and pretty much what I'm saying is where we are finding support right now, if this is going to be where it is, we are setting ourselves up for a massive run. We're setting ourselves up for a massive run coming up here. So hope you guys are ready. Hope you guys have your bags packed, because we're moving. We're moving. Craig's in the house. What's going on? Rosales, what's going on, brother? Happy that you guys are here. Can you check out Gecko? Bro, you know, let's bring up Gecko, but you remember, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's just myself, but I cannot find a freaking chart on TradingView for Gecko. Let me see something here. Damn, this thing's up another 100% for the day. Holy crap. This thing is freaking moving, dude. What is going on with this project? I'm just looking to read what the hell this thing is doing. That's crazy. Is this finally giving me a chart? No. This isn't it. It says it is. Let's see here. 93. 92. Yeah, this project's going crazy, dude. Rather pull it up on here. So market cap, this is where I was having an issue yesterday, is that the market cap on Coin market cap is at 700, about 800,000. I'm sorry, 800 million, and the market cap right here is freaking 1.6 billion. But regardless, I mean, this thing is absolutely crushing it. You can see it ate up a zero, but it was quickly rejected from where it's at. I mean, do you even draw a fib retracement on this thing? This thing is like gone absolutely ape shit. Guess, yeah, look. So you can see for Gecko, you can see it's basically retesting its 3A2 right here at around the 90 mark. It's going to be your 3A2. So hopefully that holds. If this thing can hold, this thing's probably going to run up and at least go and retest this this all-time high right here at the 13 mark. We'll have to see how this plays out. You can see it's literally retesting that 3A2 right now at around that 90 mark right now. But if it does break this 3A2, then you can expect it most likely to find support at this 0.5, which is going to be around the 75. I would be not surprised if around this 0.5, which would be, let's see here, a move towards the downside of around 16%. If it does drop down to that 0.5, this probably will get eaten up fast. You can see on its way up, this was its all-time high, and you can see it just basically was hitting its head, finding rejection, right? So it might need to bounce down to this 0.5, which would be around the 76 mark, find some solid support, and then find its way, making its way back up towards these all-time highs. But this project, I mean, looking at it, just looks unstoppable, dude. This thing looks unstoppable. That's crazy. Prodigy said, what the F, from 9 zeros to 4 zeros for Gecko. It's at 5. Yeah, it went up to 4 zeros. Now it just brought back another zero. But my God, I know the gains for this project, because I remember we were looking at it like maybe like a month ago or something. And I was like, yeah, it's doing pretty good. Because look, you can see where the fib retracement is. Back here, you can see when we were looking at. And look, oh yeah, I have a beautiful drawing. Look at that. Bro, did I draw this while it was happening, or did it happen before? Who knows? Who knows, right? I'm going to erase this because people are going to start thinking I'm from the future again. Erase that. It didn't even actually, it didn't do the whole drawing, though. You can see it. Well, I said it might be, I probably was saying if this thing's creating some kind of a double top, it might be coming back to retest. But this thing was like, nope. You can see it actually created a double top right here, went back. M pattern's usually going to indicate towards the downside, even if it's briefly, and it did that before it just shattered like all expectations. I mean, look how long it's taking me to scroll to get back to where. Let's see if we can even check out just from down here before this takeoff to this high. It went up 1,000%. 1,000%. Holy crap! This thing shot up. Now you guys know what I always say about these gigapumps. They're fun, especially if you're day trading. You know, you're jumping in, you're going to catch those quick gains and then jump out. Long term, you know, don't get psyched out. You know, I think this project's going to continue to move, but you're probably going to have somewhat of a retracement just because this thing has moved up so much in the last like few days. In the last day, I mean, it's up, I believe right now, it's up for the day, it's up 100%, and that's it retracing. It probably was up over 200% earlier. So like I said, a key level right now, it's technically hasn't broke. I mean, it's a little bit below the 382 right here at the 90, 91, but if this thing can hold right here, it's setting up for a massive run. If it does break, which would probably be a good thing, breaks down to about this 0.5 around the 76, not a bad spot to maybe add to the bags and dollar cost average in. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing finds some solid support right here before it starts taking back off. You know, letting the sellers get overwhelmed and buyers come in and really just take over. So Gecko looks good, bro. That thing is going crazy. Definitely keep an eye on that. I can't wait till they give me like an official. See, this right here is Gecko with slash Ethereum. I want to see a Gecko, you know, with a pair with Gecko and like the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Because it gives me a little bit more of accurate an accurate reading as far as what the hell is going on right now. I mean, it seems to be on par, so I guess this is a legit chart, so we'll keep it for right now. But this thing is going crazy, and it's traded on this project, believe it or not, is not. Look at this, it's not on a lot of things. It's basically traded mostly on Uniswap, but look where else you can buy it on, Crypto.com. That's crazy. I wish I'd have knew about that like a month ago. Crypto.com. What else do you guys want to check out? Let me know. Let's look up some of the projects right now. We kind of already went over just the news articles that I wanted to look at. Let's look up Pepe. You can see a lot of these projects that have been on a massive run in the last week or two are still holding their gains, but they're cooling off. They haven't really, they're not coming back up necessarily yet to jump on any of these. This I think is an all-time high for Pepe. So it looks like it's solidly holding its gains, especially from the big dip from yesterday. The only thing I don't want to see, and I drew this for Gecko, remember, it was a double top. We don't want to see a double top M pattern. If that does play out, you're going to see Pepe most likely retrace. Most likely, I don't know, guys. I'm seeing either this 5.7 right here. This is going to be at the 382, or breaking down to this support level right here at the 44. If this M pattern does play. Now, if it can hold above this 20-day SMA, that's going to be your moving average right here that it has been technically bouncing on. If it can hold that, this thing's probably going to come up real easily and retest its all-time highs and most likely break. I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these meme coins are just chilling out right now. I mean, obviously, you can see with Bitcoin particularly, Bitcoin has been kind of forming an M pattern as well, right? And it's kind of just been stagnant today. Like I said, we keep getting rejected at that 67, a little bit above the 67 mark. We keep getting rejected and brought back down, and we've retested. You see right here, we bounced off this spot right here at the 64, basically the 64.9. What I'm calling for, that we most likely need to come back down and retest this 64.9 somewhere around here before we can start taking off again. Most likely that's what needs to happen for Bitcoin right now, just to really exhaust the buyers, right? Exhaust the sellers. We don't want the buyers to be exhausted. We want the buyers to be recharged and ready to come in. Yeah, so Pepe's not doing bad, holding its gains. Dogecoin, a little bit different. Dogecoin made a high at around 20 cents, which I didn't even realize it got up that high. And you can see this thing has, it did, just like every other project, retraced. And you can see the recovery hasn't been as strong as something like Pepe, right? It's not as strong as Pepe. I don't really fear for Dogecoin because you can see the Dogecoin community has been reignited. If you get on Facebook and you're on any of these pages, it's like, I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it for Dog Elon, right? I didn't even realize I was on Dog Elon pages on Facebook until like a day or two ago. Now every freaking other post is Dog Elon, right? Which is great. But it's like these people, they're like dormant. They're asleep. And then right when the market wakes up, it's like boom, Dog Elon, Dogecoin, I'm seeing all up on my feed. So a lot of these communities have been reignited. I think we're just at the beginning of what we're about to be seeing. Things are going to be running fast, honestly, is my opinion. I mean, we already see a lot of altcoins have already exploded, but the big thing is that a lot of them are holding their gains. We are seeing some projects like FET and a few other projects today that are actually doing really well. But a lot of the projects that are kind of just moving around, like even Ladies, we're up 5%. We're kind of just sitting here, but we're still holding our gains. Because if you really zoom out and you look for the week, I would imagine we're still up 70, 85%, right? That's for the month. We're up. No way. Oh, that's Myro. I'm like, no way. We're up 300%. Not yet. But for the month, we're still holding 100% for Milady, right? We're still holding for the week. We're up 35%. So, I mean, we're still doing solid right now for Milady and for most of the projects right now. So, we're looking good. Let's see here. Astra said I did a 200x with Brett. Nice. You were calling that Brett for a while, dude. Astra said from $1 million market cap to a $200 million market cap. Did it really, bro? You're going to make me pull up that chart? You're going to make me pull up that chart and be like, I told you. Let's look it up on DeFi real quick. So he's saying he just a 200x. Oh, crap. He is not lying. He is not lying. Up for the last 24 hours, it's up 333%. That's crazy, bro. That's awesome, dude. What's crazy is I'm usually all over Solana, and this hasn't even hit my radar. Like other than like maybe you telling me about it, but wait, is this ain't the right one? Because you said from $1 million market cap to 200. Didn't you say wasn't Brett on Arbitrum or something? What is it on? Could have sworn you said Brett was on Arbitrum or something like that. What's going on, Eller? So everybody's calling for that March 8th, which is going to be what, International Ladies Day or whatnot. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes for that. Astro, I got you, bro. He's over here gloating. He's like, it went up 200x. I hear you, bro. Let's see here. What would be a good buy zone for Bunk at this time? Amor asked. Well, first we would need to pull up the Bunk chart. Every freaking chart I have to like fix their fib retracements because they all broke through. Bunk just made a new all-time high. I think that was like yesterday on the 4th, so 2 days ago. So with that being said, for Bunk, what was the question? What would be a good buy zone for Bunk? Well, let's see. Let's see here. So all-time highs for Bunk, 48, right? We're right now sitting at around that 30 mark. Let me pull something up here. Bunk's market cap right under $2 billion. Nuts. The thing, market cap went flying up. Remember, Bunk's market cap got down to like $400 million like 2 or 3 months ago. This thing just jumped up. I'm sure it was at like $2.5 billion yesterday or 2 days ago. So some good solid spots for some support is what I'll provide, and you can kind of go from there. First spot that I would say would be this 0.5 right here at the 28, which is not far from where it's at right now. Honestly, I would say that 28 mark is going to be a big spot for some support and really holding this bullish run that it has right now, right? You can see it did break below, but it was very short-lived, and you can see where did it go back and retest and confirm was above the 0.5 right here. So with that being said, a buy zone for myself would probably be anything under this 28 mark. So how I would look at Bunk is if I'm not in the project right now, not worried about it, I'm interested in the project. So, and I'm speaking just hypothetically. So I'm interested in the project. I'm going to have patience and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for this 28 to play out. If it's going to drop down to this 28 and see if it's going to bounce, maybe that would be a spot where I would start to dollar cost average in, right? Maybe start to dollar cost average in and maybe see if we're going to maybe retrace. I think this is going to be a big spot for for some support, possible bounce. But if you start dollar cost averaging in right here at the 28, that could be a big spot because if it continues to drop, obviously you can see right here where it was consolidating. This is going to be your 618. That's going to be probably a pivotal spot that it most likely is going to hold if you even get the chance of buying in down there at the 23, almost the 24. So buy zone, if I was to look at a buy zone right now, it would be basically anything under this 28, basically starting at the 28, dollar cost averaging in, and then praying that it would drop down towards this 24 right here at the 618. Anywhere under this 28 though would be pretty much the beginning of a buy zone for myself. And as if and pretty much if it was to drop, you had some kind of a miracle, which it's most likely never going to happen anytime soon. But Bunk drops down to some of these levels, then obviously go balls to the walls, just buying in on Bunk. But remember, just take this into consideration. Bunk just made an all-time high, right? Just went on a massive run. I'm not saying that this is going to play out right here, but you can see it went on a massive run and it slowly bled out. And we had this spot right here at the 10 mark as a support, and look where it pretty much every time bounces right there at that 10 mark. So I just want to tell you that make sure you take that in consideration. If there is somewhat of a retracement in the market, then you could maybe, if you have patience, you might be able to buy Bunk at some lower levels that maybe we're not thinking this is going to be possible. So, that's pretty much what I would leave it. But if you dollar cost average in, you'll be on the safe side, and anything under the 28 is most likely going to be a solid spot for some dollar cost averaging in, and most likely that would be your first spot in the sand as far as finding some support for Bunk. So that's my story. I'm sticking to it for Bunk. Daddy said in 2 months I will become in 2 months I will become my first child. Hope this project can change my family situation. Oh, congratulations, bro. So Daddy's saying that he's going to be a dad. He's going to have his first child in 2 months. Nice, bro. I remember when I was in that situation, right? You got a lot of things going on, especially when you're the man. Your society tells you that you're supposed to be the breadwinner, right? You're supposed to be the provider, and as a man, that's what you want to do, right? You want, and nothing better, no better joy in life than being able to provide for your family, right? There's no better joy, honestly. I mean, everybody's got their own kind of opinions, and some people don't want kids, but I'm saying if you're that type of guy that you want kids and you want a family and stuff like that, there's no better feeling than being able to support your family, right? So, Daddy, I hope that this plays out for you, bro. I hope whatever positions that you're in as far as crypto plays out for you, bro, and you're able to provide as whatever you can for your family, dude. And good luck with that, man. Congratulations. Amor said 5 months. Wait, everybody freaking got kids coming? Amor said 5 months for him. Same for you, Amor, bro. You already know, man. Your family, dude. I hope everything plays out with crypto too, bro, and you're able to you guys got a big diaper stash of money, because it doesn't stop, bro. They eat, sleep, and poop, right? So you got to make sure you have a nice bed for them. You got to make sure there's food always there, and you got to make sure you got diapers ready, right? Let's see here. Sorry if I skipped anybody's. Craig said, "What was that? A bull flag for Milady?" What you talking about, Craig? Like, you guys remember what you talking about, Willis? What you talking about, Craig? What bull flag you see, bro? I see what you're... no, I don't see a bull flag. I mean, I guess... You know what? Now that Craig does bring that up, Craig, good eye. I do see a bull flag, bro. I do see somewhat of a bull flag playing out here. I do. Nice. Good eye, Craig. That's why we got you around, bro. We got you around for that right there, so you can tell us if there's any bull flags on the charts that I am not seeing here. Yeah, so for Milady, this looks like it's playing out to be what it appears to be is a descending triangle or bull flag, which we all know not every time, but a lot of times it'll play out where they'll consolidate in this downward channel and eventually find some support. Most likely it's going to be somewhere around where we're at, this 10.7, and eventually it will start taking off. And I wouldn't be surprised, I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin has some kind of a bull flag, but it really doesn't necessarily. Fuck it, excuse my language, we'll do it anyway. Nah, I don't like that. That's not a bull flag. I don't like it. What's kind of what Bitcoin's playing out is this beautiful, and I say beautiful, it's not really too pretty, is an M pattern, this double top. It's a small one, so it's not going to be like, oh, we're good. But I'm telling you guys, I wouldn't be surprised if this thing doesn't pull together here soon, right? And we're not far from all-time highs. We're really not far from all-time highs. But if this thing doesn't pull together, I wouldn't be surprised short-term Bitcoin finds some retracement either right here at this 69.5, like I keep saying, or if it really wants to really draw out all the freaking sellers for right now and really get a big surge of buyers coming in, we drop down towards the support level at the 61.6 right here. Those are going to be the two levels that we're going to watch if this M pattern plays out. And you know what, Craig? If that M pattern plays out for Milady or for Bitcoin, you can throw this bull flag out the water, right? You can throw it out the water because this bull flag might want to play out, and it has everything that it like has all the characteristics like it's about to play out for a nice bull flag, and then Bitcoin goes and retraces at like 61.6 right there that we were talking about on the last chart. You're going to see most likely Milady come back down. I don't think it's going to come back down towards where it did over here at the 78. Maybe we're lucky to see that because I missed that dip right there, and I would love for it to happen again. So let's see here. Blue Oyster was up 400,000 on Pepe, holding 444. Wait, 100,000 million holding 440. Wait, holding 44 billion, right? And will always hold Pepe for life. That's crazy, bro. I mean, listen, Blue, that's some big cojones right there, bro. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I don't know what your financial situation is, right? But if you were up 400K, bro, it would be, I'm telling them it's going to be hard when I'm up like 50K on some of my projects. They know how I am. I go up with some of these projects I've already sold off on that I'm like kicking myself because I was up like 4x. You know, I can only imagine if and when I'm up 400,000. You know, I'm going to be like freaking, I told them I'm playing around, but being serious, I'm going to have to like chain my freaking hands to the wall, right? So I don't hit that sell button, because looking at my portfolio and it's telling me I'm up $400,000, it's going to be really hard for me to, not hit the sell button. But I understand and I respect the diamond hands and the fact that this is a long-term play, because I've been calling this for a while. I think that Pepe, and you guys can go back to my lives when Pepe was not doing good just a few months ago, and no one was even talking about Pepe anymore. I was saying this. Don't be surprised, guys, if Pepe comes out of nowhere and starts running like crazy. I was like, because you know what? Pepe did something that no other freaking meme coin has done, or any other project, and that was back in the bear market, right? A year ago, this thing freaking shot up 1000x during a bear market, right? And it had everybody and your mother talking about Pepe for like 3 weeks solid. Don't think that you guys forgot about that, right? So I always say, for Pepe, better have respect, because Pepe's earned our respect along with Dogecoin and Shiba. Pepe has done some big things when every project was not doing anything at all. So much respect there, bro. Much respect. And I appreciate, Blue also said, go ladies. So I respect that, bro. Amor said, bunk drop to that 10 mark. I'm emptying my savings account. Just be safe, bro, because like I said, Bunk's been on a run like crazy. So if the markets look like for whatever reason they are slightly retracing or going down for a big retracement, just hold strong and have patience. You might be able to, maybe get into some really good positions. I don't foresee that happening, but I'm just saying, you always have to have that kind of a, that outlook of like, what if this happens? You have to be prepared, right? So let's see here. Kid Talk, what's going on? What's up, lady fams? Good morning over here. Kid Talk is from across. Kid Talk, where you're over in you're in the Philippines, I think, right? I don't mean to mispronounce. I think you're over in the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. What's going on, bro? I'm sure he's gonna come back and correct me. Let's see here. So Johnny said Shiba is breaking out. Breaking news: Shiba is breaking out, guys. So let's go to our breaking news chart and let's see what Shiba's doing. Oh, that's not Shiba, is it? That is Shiba. Something doesn't look right about that Shiba chart. Oh, there it is right here. I guess that was slightly true, but all right, Johnny, I'm starting to question your Johnny, I'm starting to question your breaking out. What is this breaking out here, bro? Nah, you know what I will tell you about Shiba? It's just like we were talking about with Pepe. All jokes aside, has been on a beautiful run, right? Has been on a beautiful run. This thing is looking great. And one thing that looks fantastic is it's still holding a lot of these gains, right? We covered this yesterday whenever we covered all the projects. Obviously, that big dip. This is on the 2 hour. It bounced down and basically found support on this 100-day SMA right here, which is beautiful. But you can see it's been hitting its head and has not been able to break above the 20-day since it found that support. So this is what I'm going to tell you, Johnny, is everything is looking perfectly good right now. This thing needs to break above this 20-day. All it needs to do is break above this 20-day, which right now the 20 days at about the 34.74. If it can break above this 20-day, and I don't mean just briefly, we need to see a few candles, whether they're red or green, bouncing above the 20-day, finding support. This thing is going to easily run up and start retesting these local highs right here for Shiba. So that's one thing that you guys need to take into consideration. A lot of these projects that have retraced, since their little local highs, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, a lot of them are sitting not far from their local highs. And this goes along with even Bitcoin, not sitting far from its local high right here, right? So any moment or any day now, we could easily just break out of nowhere and be right back to where we were at just yesterday, 2 days ago. So I mean, everything is still looking beautiful, and that's why we read this article about Bitcoin. Bitcoin looking like it wants to, and they're giving targets of around 76,000. This is not the top of the market, 76. This is a short-term target of possibly in the next week or two. They're seeing Bitcoin running up towards the 76 mark. Now, I wish I could zoom in on this chart, because looking at it, it says, let's see here, new rally begins heading towards 76. I thought they were saying something about post-halving as far as on that chart. But yeah, so a lot of analysts are calling for, a new all-time high within the next few days, next few weeks, possibly. And I say few weeks. I honestly think in the next week or two, as long as we can see Bitcoin find some support above. We haven't found it yet. Bitcoin hasn't found support above the 16.4. You can see we broke above it. And look, for Bitcoin, we broke above the 66,004, right? But got rejected at the 76.6 right here. Cool. Broke below the 66.4, right? Broke above it. One bounce. We had one bounce right here, which this looked beautiful, but got rejected and broke right below it and went and dropped all the way down to the 64.8. Came back, and look where we're hitting our head on. The 66.4. Hitting our head. Right here. Looked like we were starting to find a beautiful spot as far as finding some support. Broke below it again. For whatever reason, that 66.4 has been a big spot for today that we cannot hold and stay above. So until we can do that, I think we're going to kind of just teeter-totter. We might need to retest some of these levels, like I said earlier, at around 64.9. This is just hypothetically speaking. We easily, like I've been trying to tell you guys, we easily can get a beautiful green candle tomorrow morning when the stock market opens up, and we'll be right back up to the races. Real quick, I do want to bring up, we never talk about this on the charts, right? We never talk about this on the channel. Did you guys see gold made an all-time high? Did you guys see that gold made an all-time high that it's ever made today? Gold did. Isn't that crazy? You know all those gold people, the people that are all telling you to buy gold, are absolutely going crazy today. Like, I told you. Even though Bitcoin's outperformed gold by like 10,000%, still, you can't hate on gold, right? It's a slow and steady train that moves, right? But this is the gold chart, and this thing has been really running. I mean, this is going back all the way to this is 1998. Gold was $300. And I mean, you can see this thing went on a massive run back in 2011. Retraced. This was back in 2016. And then since then, it's really been slightly on a run. It has been kind of hit in the last few years. This is back when we were basically all in a bear market. This is October 22. This is the brunt of the bear market that we all were just pretty much in. You can see it bottomed out at around that 1600 mark. But for now, it's at 2147. So good for gold. Just covering that. I'm wondering if a lot of people, not us, but people that are kind of new timers in Bitcoin, are possibly riding gold right now. I wonder if they're riding gold possibly. Who knows? Just, throwing out some of that speculism. You never know, right? You never know. Ethereum broke, it broke above 3,900. Beautiful. I told you guys, for Bitcoin, or for Ethereum, king of the alts, if Ethereum breaks out and starts getting up towards all-time highs, that's when we know, that's another big indicator that we know that altcoin season's pretty much started. Let's see here. So Blue said, all dogs go to heaven, right? Leonex It said AI coins is going up, especially the Ethereum ecosystem upgrade coming up on the 13th of this month. Render just pumped insanely today. Yeah, maybe that's why, because we were looking at it a little earlier. Sorry, can't even speak anymore. But we were looking at it earlier, and Fetch AI is freaking going crazy. Going absolutely crazy. And usually when Fetch, will consistently do really well. But usually when you see like Fetch going crazy, we saw Singularity was doing really well. GRT, which really is just associated with AI. A lot of these projects are all running. There's usually in the back end, there's some kind of AI news or something is out with AI causing this run. So that could be a big thing, like you said, as far as with the Ethereum ecosystem upgrade. Let's check out Render and see what's going on. Yeah, Render's on a nice run too. It just made an all-time high recently. Oh yeah, Render's definitely on a run. A lot of these projects, though, I'm telling you, a lot of them are making this M pattern, right? I'm just like hoping that none of it plays out. I just whenever I start seeing those double tops, even though hasn't fully formed, I'm just like, oof. Not saying this thing's gonna crash down or anything like that, but if it does form this M, right? And I mean what it does is it already made the one top. Second top, if this thing starts to retrace a little bit, it's probably going to come back and bounce off this 20-day SMA right here at around the pretty much the 9-cent mark. You'll see if it doesn't hold that 9-cent mark. I'm looking to see if it doesn't hold that 9-cent mark. You're going to see a retracement back to $8.50, around $8.60 for Render. But if it can continue to kind of use this momentum, this thing's going to continue to move. So it looks good. Krager said, what do you think about Bitcoin options? I don't think about Bitcoin options. I don't know much about options or anything like that, to be honest. Me personally, if I'm going to get into any of that realm, it's usually leverage trading, like longing and shorting the market. That's pretty much what I'm on as far as any of that. But I've been kind of staying away in the last 2 weeks as far as longing and shorting. Actually, I told you guys yesterday I tried to pick up a long right here, and freaking my position both times said it said timed out. Like it wouldn't let me freaking open up the position. I'm like, yeah, I bet. I tried to open up 100x leverage, and they ended up taking the money from me. Right? Taking the money from me both times. They took it the first time and I was like, I don't even care. I'm like, went through another few $100. I was like, I'll figure out, I'll worry about that another time. I'm like trying to open up a position for 100x when we saw that massive drop, and same thing happened. It timed out, took the money. I was like, bro, I was furious for two reasons. It took my money. The second reason, we made such a quick recovery. I'm like, bro, this was probably $1,000 mistake that not even that I made, but I guess most likely because everything was going absolutely ape shit at the time, So I just was pissed, but they ended up putting the money back into my account after the fact. I'm like, bro, I'm just like, dude, y'all are killing me. That was Jupiter too, Jupiter swap, because I do my longing and trading on Jupiter, so. They just couldn't handle the freaking, I guess, the influx of everything that was going on at the time. So either that or I honestly feel like, because this isn't the first time they've done something like that, to where I feel like they kind of, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there, but I think they didn't want to open up that position because it was like a sure bet, Jason, what's going on? And Craig said, what H-bar looking like? It tried to pump, but of course it died out. H-bar's been quiet lately, bro. It's been on a nice little run. H-bar's been on a nice little run, and it broke out of the fib just like every other freaking project. But I will tell you one thing is, look at H-bar. It hasn't retraced at all. You saw the retracement yesterday and it bounced cleanly off this 382. at around the 9 cents. But I mean, where you're looking at it, this thing is still holding a lot of its gains. So I mean, I wouldn't be upset with this project whatsoever right now. This thing looks, I mean, it looks probably one of the strongest projects that's not like technically going crazy pumping. It's just sitting here holding its gains right below this local high that it made at around the pretty much we'll call it the 13 cents is its local high. It's literally right under it, like 1%. So, I mean, this thing looks great. Amor said, if Sarah shows up in here, tell her to bring me back to the 90s where I belong. 80s, baby. Craig said, I bought 2 Powerball tickets tonight, so I have no worries. Yeah, my boy always buying those damn lottery tickets. I buy them here and there. I rarely walk into a gas station, but if I do walk into a gas station and I have, cash on me, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to freaking play the Powerball, or I'm going to play, whatever else the other lotteries are, just for shits and giggles. But I told myself a while back, like with gambling and stuff like that, I was like, even leverage trading, I've kind of been holding off. Even though I'm doing really well with leverage trading, I'm like, you're better off just putting your money and just continuing to dollar cost average in on projects, right? Because, at the end of the day, you're not going to lose most likely if you're just dollar cost averaging in and you have the patience. But leverage trading and gambling and stuff like that, you have such a big chance of just losing your money, right? Even though a lot of us would do it just for the thrills. I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I'd rather just get that secure bag, right? Rather get that secure bag. So on my watch list, as far as the biggest traders for today, I swear earlier, Fetch was the biggest one. It must have everything reset, because earlier Fetch was probably the biggest one at around 40% for the day for the watch list. So definitely looking good. Dog with Hat having somewhat of a little bit of a retracement. You can see it topped out right here at around $2.21. And since then it's basically going through a little bit of a retracement, consolidating at around $1.80, $1.85. But I mean, still looking great. This thing has really done really well in the last few weeks. Binance, it's getting released on a lot of major exchanges. A little project that started off on Solana's DeFi is making it with the big boys. Isn't that crazy? Absolutely craziness. Just like Bunk. Real quick, guys, before we continue, we're doing pretty good. Make sure we got 40 people here. Let's hit those likes. If you haven't already hit that like, just hit the like for your boy. It's free. It's easy. Hit the like. What else is going on in the world of crypto today? So Bitcoin's record high would have happened without ETFs just later, says experts. And I think we've all kind of gotten to that. We've come to that same conclusion, right? We're a lot earlier in our target prices for Bitcoin, particularly because of the ETFs, right? ETFs came out and we were so freaking bearish because of everything that was going on with the weeks that followed after it. But after we got past that, 3 weeks of hell with the ETFs, it's really done nothing but a positive for right now as far as for the price and the money coming in for Bitcoin. So that's a big reason why Bitcoin was able and is able to be above 66,000 as we speak right now, so early in the game. Remember, weeks ago, we weren't seeing much. We weren't seeing these massive moves, right? It really wasn't playing out yet. And I was like, we got the halving coming up. I wouldn't be surprised if we're at 55, 60, and back that was when we were at like 45,000, and you're like, damn, that's a great 55, 60. Take it in. We're at 66,000 and we're down for the day, right? So just imagine if we can continue on this run where the crypto market's going to be in the next just few months. In the next few months, we easily could be tapping on $100,000 door. I used to think, $100,000 Bitcoin is like, I don't know, that's just craziness to think $100,000 Bitcoin. it's not too crazy to think about now, right? It's not too crazy at all to think about. So, Free said patience is key, and that is the truth, bro. That is the truth. Gene asked, do you think Pepe will hit, what is that, 4 zeros and a 7? Let's see here. I'm about to pull up Pepe. So what are you saying? 4 zeros and a 7? What is that? You're like your magical number, bro? 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 7? That's a freaking move right there, bro. That's a move. Let me see here. So from where we're at right now to go up to where your magical number is, that's about a 900% move right now. So that technically would be a 900x would be what, like a freaking, what is that? Like a 45x from where it's at right now. If you really 900% from where it's at right now, if you really think about where the market cap is, $3 billion, for it to go up 45x from right now, that would be a what would that be? A 45x times 3. That would be pretty much around 160. I'm sorry, about 130, 140 billion dollar market cap. So, not saying it can't happen, bro, but I mean that's a massive, massive, massive market cap, especially for a meme coin. Technically, at this time speaking, that would be the highest market cap that a meme coin's ever seen, right? So that would be historical if it does happen. To answer your question, I don't think it's gonna get that high up, bro. I really don't. I think that Pepe, looking at the market cap, not even price wise, but looking at the market cap right now, Pepe could probably see in this bull run probably a nice 3 to 5x, I think. And that's me saying that it could get up to 10 to 15. No. I'm sorry. What did I say? 3 to 5x. Hold on. That's 9. 5x would be 15. Oh, I think it could get a bit higher than that. I think this thing could easily do probably a 10x from where it's at right now, going up to about 30 billion. I think that's conservative, right? About a 10x for Pepe. I think that's conservative from where it's at right now. Honestly, you have to just remember, dude, you're not starting from a market cap like where Milady's at. You know, if you were to ask me, do I think Milady's is going to do a 45x? I would say it has a bigger chance than Pepe. And this isn't, Pepe can have more hype behind it. I'm just looking at sheer numbers and market cap, right? Looking at the market cap for Pepe at $3 billion, for it to jump up, you know, I think it could easily get up to about 30 billion, maybe getting up to 40 or 50 billion possibly, right? Remember, I always shoot kind of low and pray that I'm wrong, right? So I think, honestly, between that 30 and $50 billion mark for Pepe would be probably the spot that you would probably see in this next bull run. Hopefully I'm wrong, though, right? Craig said it was a boring day for all my assets today. No ups, no downs. Nico said soon people, they're going to make the, how do you pronounce that? The Palu digital ID. Adam said, I just shared the chart for the X on the Discord chart. Okay. Free said, CryptoFud, are you saying 40x for Milady from where it's currently at? I mean, dude, you know, come on, bro. You're here every day. You know what the hell I'm saying for Milady. I honestly think 40x would be a small. I think that would be small, honestly. If you do 40 times 80, I don't know what the hell that would be. I think that's only, let me pull my damn calculator out real quick. Let me see here. I think 40 times 80, gosh, I'm like trying to do the math and I'm stuck here. Well, what's 4 times 8? 4 times 8 is what, 32? No, yeah, 32. So that would be a $32 billion market cap. So a 40x would be a $32 billion market. No, 3.2 billion it has to be. Not a 32. It have to be 3.2. Hold on here. All right, guys. Calculator's out. Let's see here. 80 million times 40. Yeah, it comes out to 3.2 billion. 3.2 billion. So you guys know I'm honestly calling for a little bit higher. I'm calling for somewhere around like a 4 to 10 billion dollar market cap. So is what I'm thinking, honestly. 4 to 10 billion. So you're looking at probably somewhere around a 60 to 100x is what I'm considering, or what I'm predicting as far as for Milady. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's see what Milady's about to be, or Bitcoin's about to be doing. Like I said, guys, I am calling for most likely a retracement. Not only is this spot right here going to be a solid spot for some support, but you can see the 100-day SMA moving average is going to be coming up right here. So if this thing comes by tonight, it most likely will hit this beautiful spot for some support around the we'll just say $65,000 mark, somewhere around there. Because you can see this thing is getting hung up even on the 50-day right now. So this M pattern looks like it really wants to play out. So we ought to just expect it to happen. Some kind of a bounce somewhere around the 65,000, finding some support. And with that being said, you're probably going to see somewhat of a move. Same thing for a lot of our projects. They're probably going to react negatively on that move. And you can see we kind of already are seeing that for Milady and a lot of other projects. So have your dry powder ready, because you might be able to dollar cost average in on a lot of projects right now. So Amar said $10 billion market cap is what they're saying on Coin Market Cap. Yeah, I feel like 10 billion is a solid spot. Now, obviously, as we move, if you see, excuse me, it's been a long day. But if you see that, let's say we jump up quickly to like $2 or $3 billion, like quickly, then you might start seeing those numbers move up to like maybe 15 plus billion, right? But if we jump up to like $1 billion and we're kind of sitting there for a while, and maybe we get up to 2 billion, yeah, you're going to see somewhat of a top out, probably not far after that. But depending on how much hype gets really behind Milady, right? And I think we're going to see a lot of hype. We're going to see a lot of hype forming for Milady when we really get up to like $200, $300 million market cap. That's when I think the hype is really going to set in for Milady. It seems to be that kind of that sweet spot for a lot of meme coins. That's where Bunk was at not too long ago. Pepe was at that not too long ago, where they were at like around 300-400 million when they were down just like 2 months ago. And you can see they easily jumped up towards around $2+ billion. So I wouldn't be surprised if something like that similar happens for Milady, where we get to like around $300-400 million. When we do, that's when a lot of FOMO kicks in, a lot of hype gets behind Milady. Maybe we'll see some listings, at that time, catalyst for us to jump up real fast up to that $2, maybe $3 billion mark. That's when you're going to start seeing numbers fluctuate as far as maybe predictions going a little bit higher than $10 billion, depending on that threshold of how fast we get up towards that $1-2 billion mark is really going to determine. The fact that you saw Pepe and you saw Bunk, Dog with Hat, a lot of these projects really just hit that $1 billion mark really fast. That's telling you that those projects can easily jump up to $10 billion on this next run, right? So that's what we want to see for Milady as well. So Blue said ladies won't move until NFTs get a lot of attention. I'm gonna have to disagree. I'm gonna respectfully, slightly agree, but mostly disagree on that. I understand I understand your thought behind it, right? And the NFTs doing really well would be nothing but positive for Milady, right? But I think we've spaced ourselves away that really we're so into the meme coin kind of realm that's really what it is. Is meme Milady's is gonna run regardless if the NFTs are running, is what I'm thinking. NFTs can stay stagnant where they're at right now. I don't think it's gonna really hold anything back as far as us moving up. But I think that if the NFTs are doing good, it's gonna be nothing but positive publicity for Milady and the meme coin. So yeah, Milady got listed on. Myro got listed on Binance. It did. I freaking sold out of Myro yesterday. Remember, I've been covering Myro. You guys know I was saying Myro at 5 cents. I feel like I don't stress it hard enough because I'm not trying to come on here and make you guys do what I'm doing. But I did mention that Myro got up to 42 cents. Holy shit. I thought I sold it at the high. Damn, that thing bounced back up to 42 cents yesterday. I'm really pissed. So I sold at the high right here, not even knowing that we were going to see this drop. Bro, it dropped so fast down to 15 cents. I was so mad that I wasn't able to buy in fast enough. And by the time I was like ready to buy in, it was like 25 cents. I was like, no, I'm going to wait. And then it jumped up to 42 cents. I had just 5x my money off of Myro, and I sold at 37 cents. Well, I didn't 5x. I bought in at 5. Yeah, I 5x my shit. Excuse my language, but yeah, I 5x my stuff, man, on Myro. And you guys remember, I've been saying, I was like, when Myro was down to 5 cents, the market cap was at like $50 million. I was like, bruh, I'm buying this. I was like, but I didn't buy a massive amount. I only put like a few $100s in it, and I was like, I'm still gonna buy in. It was like a little bit of dry powder I had. I just used Jupiter Swap and just picked it up. I didn't even buy it on any kind of exchange. It was just what I had in my DeFi wallet at the time. But you know what? I 5x that money, and now I have a lot of dry powder in my wallet. So it is what it is, right? Randy said, all these years in the bear market got me always thinking it's going to drop. I know, bro. It's like getting out of that bear mentality, right? Getting out of that bear mentality of always thinking, like, right when you see a pump, you're like, there's going to be a drop. There's going to be a drop, right? And right now, we have been slightly seeing that, right? You see these pumps, and then you see the dumps, right? You see the pumps, and then you'll see the retracements. For right now, there's going to be a point where we're going to be full-blown in a bull market where you're not really going to see those big drops. You'll see those big pumps. You're always going to see retracement, but you're not going to see where there are those giga pumps, and then it basically retraces back to where it was pre-giga pump. You're going to see these giga pumps, and it maybe retraces like 10-15%, and then it goes on another freaking pump, right? And it just continues to do that kind of thing. That's what you're going to see when we get in a full-fledged bull market. Like I told you guys yesterday or the last few days, I feel like if you were to look at, if we have 4 quarters of a bull market, we're pretty much right in the middle of a first quarter of the bull market, right? Where we know we're in it. We're kind of getting, we're getting adapted to the bull run. We're still seeing these retracements and these pumps and dumps kind of thing happening. But as we continue to move in and we get past post happening, we're going to be into quarter 2, and that's when I think things are going to really start flying, and they're not going to retrace like we've been expecting, or like we've kind of come to expect in the market, going through this freaking bear market that we've all gotten out of in the last few years. So sorry, I was reading the chat. Yeah, we've been on for 74 minutes. If you guys have any projects that you guys want to check out, now is the time to bring it up. Speak up. Forever hold your peace. Blue Oyster said, go beam. Go beam. This is Beam's ecosystem right here. Small ecosystem. Is Beam pumping? Doesn't look bad. Definitely been moving. Oh yeah, that's right. I was like, where the hell is my take this off. Alright. I was just checking to make sure my 200-day was on the charts. So there's no 200-day for Beam yet. Definitely looks like it's been on a nicer run though. Topped out so far right here at the 43. Not far from its top at around the 38. So looking pretty good. Not looking bad. Looking at the ecosystem for Beam, it's still relatively small with only about $1 million of volume. So this is DeFi for Beam. So hopefully they can pick that up. It looks like they're a fairly new project anyway. So Jason said, how do I feel about Brett? Not everybody, but I feel like, who else was asking me about Brett? Somebody else was asking me about Brett. Is the Brett you guys speak of, is this the Brett that's on Solana? Because we were looking at it a little while ago. I mean, this thing is freaking gone crazy. Arnold, are you speaking about Beam? You saying brand new DeFi wallets just launched 2 days ago? Are you talking about for Beam? What do you speak of? If this is the Brett project that y'all are speaking of, I mean, this thing looks legit. But he said it was up. He said it was at a $200 million market cap. It doesn't. This isn't $200 million. Alright, I see a couple people asking about projects, so let's look at the first one, Dione. Where do you guys find these projects? Dione. Dione. So it made a local high right here at the 88 mark. You can see it's not far from its local high. This was just, I believe, today. No, yesterday it made it. Today made its local high today. So, an all-time high. So definitely on a nice little run. We'll have to see how it plays out. You can see it did find some support at this the 236 right here, 236 fib. You can see it did find some support. So, I mean, as far as it continuing to run, I wouldn't be surprised if it easily can break this all-time high. I mean, like now, soon, right? Because you can see it just broke the all-time high, and prior to that, I mean, this thing literally just found support at the 236. That's pretty much what you wanted to see. Possibly could come back and maybe retest the 236. That's going to be somewhere around 236. Yeah, somewhere around the 68 mark right here. But I honestly think that this thing's going to probably break its all-time high, which is like literally 1% or 2% away from it. So definitely looks good as far as, it's about 10% away. So, but still looks pretty damn bullish in my opinion. As you can look at this chart, I mean, this thing is on a nice little run. So, real quick, let's see here. So, Akash. Let's look at Akash. I feel like we haven't looked at Akash in a while. Yep. You can always look. You can always tell when I pull up a project and the fib is like all the way back, like from like 3 weeks ago. All right, so Acash, what's going on? All these projects are making all-time highs, bro. Like seriously, Acash just made an all-time high at around $5.56. You can see it got rejected at that spot, and from there it is not far from retesting that all-time high again. It looked like it almost came up but got rejected right under it at the 550. So project looks great. If you're looking for any spots for a retracement, I mean, it literally has not given me confirmation above this 236 as of now. You can see it's respecting the 20-day SMA moving average instead of the 236. That's why we use both of these. We use the moving averages and we use the fib retracements because both of them are really good indicators as far as finding some support and resistance. On this chart, you're going to see the 20-day is where it pretty much bounced. And I want to say confirmed. It was only 2 candles, but this was a nice size candle that pretty much just bounced right off this 20-day and shot up. So as far as retracements, I'd be looking for the 447 right here, or maybe coming back and retesting this 20-day somewhere around the same spot, around that $4.50 if it's going to retrace. This thing could easily you blink and it breaks out of this this fib retracement, because I mean it's not far from it whatsoever from where it's at right now. So, but Acash looks really well, looks pretty good. How big is the market cap on this project? 1.2 billion. So not bad, bro. Not bad. I'd put this at like a smaller big cap project. And we're going to have to start moving. Remember like a few months ago I was explaining what, small cap, mid cap, large cap, and I was like small caps, anything under like $100 million is like a small cap, right? And you got mid caps or anywhere from like, I guess you would say a small mid cap would be anything above 100, but anything around or under like $600-700 million, right? Maybe even you would say $1 billion. And then you would say, me considering large caps, I consider them somewhere about $1 billion or more, right? Obviously being like $1 billion, a smaller large cap project, if that makes any sense. Well, as we get into this bull run, a lot of projects are going to be up to the $1 billion, right? And those are going to be considered mid caps when we get into the bull run, because prices are going to be moving up levels. So you're going to see small caps are going to be anything under like 500 million are going to be considered small caps. Mid caps are going to be anything under like $3-4 billion. And then you're going to have large caps that are going to be your 10 billion, plus, projects. So right now, looking at this project, I would consider this a small, big cap project, 1.2 billion. But I mean, definitely looking really well, up about 15% for the week. But for the month, it's up about 93%. So looking really well as of now. Looks really well. Making an all-time high. Maurice said SOS token. SOS token. Definitely on a big run. Or it was. Nice little gigapump. I'm willing to bet that this project has a small market cap. And why do I say that, guys? You guys know, if you're familiar with the channel, whenever you see these gigapumps on the charts, it usually is a big indicator that the project has a small market cap. So let's see. Let's see if I am correct. Is this? Hold on here. I don't even think. Oh, son of. Is that it right here? No. Price not included. Is it not on coin market cap? $63. Oh, it's right here. Open Deo. Okay. So market cap $6 million. Called it. Small market cap right here. So you guys can see this thing right here. Let me see what this is traded on. All right, so like Gate.io, you don't see any enormous exchanges yet, but I mean, this project right here, if it's a long-term project, it's got full 100% supply. So 100,000 million billion trillion, so 100 trillion in supply, but the market cap is so freaking small. You can see. So I mean, this thing doesn't look bad. It looks like it's most likely going to be somewhat of like a DeFi project traded on SushiSwap. But I mean, honestly, for this project, if this was something I'm looking at, you can see the bottom. Obviously, it looks like it already bottomed out at around that 16 mark, right? So, I mean, where it's at right now, it's on a pump. If I was to look for dollar cost average in, I would wait, because I would almost bet my dollar that this thing is probably gonna retrace somewhat, and most likely what you're gonna see a retracement. And we can come back and check maybe tomorrow on the stream. Is it's probably, if it does retrace, it's gonna come back down to this 46. So a buy zone wouldn't be bad. Anything under this 46, and then obviously finding support at around this 16 mark would be a solid spot. But for right now, a market cap being that small, you're in a spot where it's just like, I would just dollar cost average in like crazy, because this thing at $6 million can only do, only can go up from here, right? Obviously, you're going to see retracements here and there, but I mean, $6 million long term, this thing's probably going to see some big moves, depending on what's behind the project and if it can get on any kind of exchanges. But not bad at all as far as it being a small market cap. Randy said, great stream today. Show some love on that like, y'all. Appreciate that. We're doing pretty good. Real quick, someone wants to look at Gecko again. Looks like we're turning this into the Gecko show. Turning it into the Gecko show. So, okay. I don't remember what we were talking about just a little while ago with Gecko. So it looked like it retraced a little bit. I think I called for it to bounce down towards the 382. And I said if it bounces at that 382 and it holds some support, which I'm not going to say yet, because it did bounce a little bit below. I'm not going to say it found support necessarily, but it looks like it wants to go on another run. Now, if you see that it gets rejected at this 236, which is going to be around that 10, 11, that 11 mark, if it does get rejected, you're probably going to need to see it retest. You're going to need to see it confirm that it's staying above the 382. If it breaks this 382, I called this before, it's most likely going to come back down to the 0.5 at the 76, which wouldn't be a bad spot for it to come down, find some support. You can see this was a resistance spot. Comes back, finds some support around the 0.5, and then maybe re-engages this run coming up and trying to retest this all-time high at around the 14 mark. But Gecko has been really hot. It's been a topic of demand today in the chat, so definitely not looking bad. Arnold said, brand new DeFi wallet just launched 2 days ago. Oh, Azure wallet. It's at $2 million market cap. Nice. $2 million market cap. That's freaking crazy. If it's, I mean, that's a small market cap. It's a very small market cap. Very small. All right, so let's just do a retracement of this boring day that we've seen today, guys. If you guys are listening to anything, I want you guys to tune in right now. Tune in right now and listen to what I'm saying. For Bitcoin, we need to break this 66.4. We need to find confirmation above the 64, the 66.4. Right when we find confirmation above, I'm not talking about a giga pump, jumping up to 67,000 like we were seeing earlier, 67,000 up here and then dropping back down. We need to find some candles above, finding support above the 66.4. Once we find that support, you can see right here, we found support at the 66.4. What did we do? That's when we hit our all-time high. So we need to find that 66.4 mark again. We need to find it as support, and I think we're going to break all-time highs again, and we're going to stay up there and probably break above and get into uncharted territory that we need to get into here soon. We all know it's coming, so I hope you guys are prepared. As far as Milady, she's not looking bad. She's going to chop around probably in this descending triangle for right now. You can see she's finding some solid support around that 1070. If this bull flag plays out, we'll probably be right back up, most likely hitting our head somewhere around this 12-13 mark, depending on what Bitcoin's doing. If Bitcoin's going on another run, like we just talked about, then you're going to probably see Milady break out and probably get towards these local highs at around 14 or 15 marks. So everything is looking good. If you guys have taken anything from today as far as what the projects look like, a lot of the projects that have been pumping in the last week, and I mean really pumping like the meme coins, they're all still holding massive gains. Yes, they're down a little bit from their local highs or all-time highs on some of them, like Bunk and Pepe. They're right below their all-time highs, but they're literally setting up for if this market starts pumping again, which we know is probably going to happen. These projects are going to they're going to fly up, and they're going to fly up right past any of these local or all-time highs that they just were at 2 days ago. So I hope you guys are prepared. We're still in it. Everything is still looking beautiful. If you guys saw the channel yesterday, we covered what Bitcoin does whenever it makes an all-time high. It always retraces. If yesterday's retracement was what we saw, that was actually a better retracement than we've ever seen in any all-time high ever. And that would just be setting us up for an epic run for some massive moves. So I hope you guys are prepared. Today I know was a kind of a boring day in the market, right? So nothing really to cover. We did cover some, articles about what they're calling as far as the $76,000 Bitcoin in the next week or two. So hopefully that plays out. Looking at the market for the week, everything is still looking beautifully green. For the day, everything looks like it's doing really well as well. You have a lot of big projects that are doing good, particularly AI projects right now are killing it. So everything's looking good, guys. I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, and make sure you guys hit that like for the algorithm, and just support your boys, support the channel. We got some good times ahead of us, so don't let these boring days, don't let them get the best of you, right? Other than that, guys, I thank you guys so much for joining me again for a beautiful stream tonight, and I will see each and every one of you guys tomorrow. We'll be back on around 6:30 Eastern Standard Time for the live stream. Thank you guys so much. Have a great, wonderful night.